It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Seahawks and the Giants. Coming up next.
We welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. Brandon Gaudin alongside my good friend Charles Davis. Charles, so often it's the quarterbacks that are in the spotlight, and in this game, no different. We have a very compelling matchup.
And I think for me, and this isn't an original thought by any stretch, and probably for these two head coaches as well, the key for them is going to be limiting the turnovers, limiting the free possessions. I mean, this isn't saying anything you don't already know, but you've got to be able to make the most out of your drives and see if your defense can help you out and take the ball away from the other team and give you a few extras.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This take it in at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. First go on offense for the Giants under the guidance of Daniel Jones, the former Duke Blue Devil.
I still remember when he was drafted, there was a little bit of controversy about how high he was selected by the New York Giants, but his talents were revealed. He can make every throw in the book. Surprisingly good athlete. As long as he takes care of the football, doesn't turn it over, he can really make plays.
They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now Jones. And that will be incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Next, the receivers, they'll spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Busts through the tackle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Go, let's go! Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 56 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
And the Seahawks are going to have it 1st and goal as he'll take this down to about the 3. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2 as they go to work on a 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A 3-yard touchdown run as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
On 2nd and 7, Jones. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Now, how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
Throwing Jones. Buying time to his left. And Jones will hit the deck here, and he is able to pick up the first down.
Here we go.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It was Jaron Reed who got him down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Jones. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Uchenna Nwosu. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
But enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and make sure he spills it for a small gain.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense.
On the return, Jackson. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. New York ready to go again offensively. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do?
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Uchenna Nwosu picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out, because The entire game, he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
Well, as we get ready for 3rd down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on 2nd down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on 3rd and long.
And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's in his zone, 2nd quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard gain.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's the 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the 2nd quarter. The final shot here before break. Smith. That completes it again to Metcalf.
Come on, baby.
So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, let's run through the next-gen stats for the Seahawks in that first half. And they've had some success on the ground, and with the lead going into the second half, they'll no doubt be looking to keep it going. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they did not have the same kind of success on the ground. They struggled to get the run game going to this point, as you see there. Both teams making their final adjustments for the second half to come. And to bring the action your way, we go back to MetLife Stadium and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a great return, solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
Well, this has been a close game throughout, but that return can help them gain the separation that they've been seeking throughout the game.
The Bucs ready to go here to begin the 3rd quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
88 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Gino now to throw. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And the Giants are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this 3rd quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. And they just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that pay off in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those opportunities, and this is a good one right in front of them.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Steps away to his left. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Jones. Catch made here by Campbell. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's a give to Barkley. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Here's Jones on 3rd down. That's caught by Waller out left side. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Gano's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7 to 3. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
This fielded right at the goal line. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Geno Smith getting ready to go again here on offense. And we'll see if he opts for a heavier dose of running plays, because running is where they've had more success than in the passing game.
And the way they've spread it around to different people running it as well. It's not just been one principal guy who's carried the thing and moved the game forward for them. Whoever has touched it has given them good yardage. I think he's going to stay with that game plan. It takes the pressure off of him as a thrower.
A team effort, and they're winning on the scoreboard. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Here's a handoff out of the gun. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety and being able to hit people with the run and the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU most valuable. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. As we've got the final quarter upon us, we get ready to start the fourth. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the second time. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. The New York set to take the field. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. A handoff to Barkley. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those...
And the Seahawks defense gets to him and they bring him down. And that'll bring up 4th down on the big sack with a loss of 5. 3rd and 1, they opt to pass it, and the one thing happened that could not happen. They took a sack.
Yeah, I just wonder, is that an indictment of their offensive line? Did they think that they couldn't move them enough to pick up a 1st down there? Or was it analytics? Did they think about it that way? In any event, they'll be studying that in the future.
Here's Jamie Gillen now. He's been terrific so far. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him before he get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. The Giants going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now they try the right side here. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there, and if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from me a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Hands it off out of the gun. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 120 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far, they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it. He will push his way down to about the 14. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That's a gain of 4 here in the fourth quarter with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost felt like open up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you?
I
loved
did.
The defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.